Nigerians face up to realities of interstate travel, suspend Christmas trips. Despite Kaduna accident bombing, Nigerian Air Force neutralizes terrorist kingpin, others in airstrike in Niger. Organ harvesting syndicate exposed in the FCT as Nigerians consume large quantities of untested drugs that could cause damage. And on the international scene, ex-Sierra Leone president under house arrest over coup investigations. Well, hello there and welcome to the News Hour. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Let's start with stories on the cost of living. Well, hibiscus, locally known as zobo, is paying the bills of some youth farmers in Jigawa State. The young farmers are combining pursuit of Western education and farming to cater for their daily needs. Adabu Imam meets some of these farmers at a weekly market known as Kasuan Laraba in the suburb of Duse, the state capital. Here's this report.
Hibiscus, popularly known as zobo leaf, can be processed and used for domestic and commercial purposes. In Jigawa State, farmers usually cultivate and take zobo to the markets to make ends meet. In one of the weekly markets in Duse local government area, youths explain that zobo business is making them self-reliant, especially after harvest. We usually patronize many weekly markets for zobo business. Our regular customers usually mobilize us to buy from far and sell to marketers or end users. But the major problems in this business is the supply chain. Zobo is so demanding. That is why the price keeps changing intermittently. As a result of the current economic realities, education alone cannot take us to the promised land. That is why we combine both of them. In recent times, we realized that we have nothing other than farming activities, particularly subsistent agriculture, because it gives hope and meaning to our lives. Some of our challenges in this business include adulterating and mixing the spoiled ones inside a big sack and bringing it to the market for us to buy and sell to our customers. They also say that cultivating hibiscus is easy, urging others to embrace it in order to improve the economic well-being of residents in the state. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
Moving on, as the world continues to commemorate the 2023 Disability Day, persons with disability, PWDs, are decrying the hardship they are facing as a result of the current economic challenges bedeviling the country. The PWDs, who disclosed this during this year's commemoration organized by Get Them Young initiative in Jos, said although a significant percentage of Nigerians are affected by the situation, they are more affected by the economic reality. Trust TV's Adu Musa completes the story.
Events commemorating the International Day of Persons with Disabilities are often organized to mobilize support for critical issues relating to the inclusion of persons with disabilities. The day is also aimed at promoting awareness raising about disability issues and draws attention to the benefit of an inclusive and acceptable society for all. But persons with disabilities say, despite the commemoration, they are yet to see the impact of the day.
I'm seriously, I'm calling for the government, especially the federal government of Nigeria, to come to our aid, especially, people living with disability like this, we don't find it easy. So we are pleading for the government to come, in helping people with situation like this.
Expenses which ordinarily they wouldn't have experienced. And I must confess to you that we are not indeed having it easy, just like
a person with disability in a country like Nigeria is a one step backward, and then secondly, the problem has deteriorated since from the COVID-19 lockdown. there was an issue without considering persons with disability. Then from the lockdown, we enter cash crunch. Then now, fuel subsidy removal. So the thing is become multiple on us.
The executive director of the initiative, Nafisat Abdulaziz, spoke on the group's effort to ensure the well-being of PWDs.
Yeah, a substantial amount of persons with disability are part of our communities, and then most of them are neglected. They are being segregated from the communities. And why do we do that? They also have the rights, the equal rights we have. So I'm calling on everyone to be disability advocate, and also equally calling on the government, to make sure most of these policies that are in place are being implemented in our places of work, in our business places, and everywhere in the society.
For years, various groups and individuals have advocated for the inclusion of persons with disabilities in government policies. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
At barely 2 weeks to Christmas, the prices of goats in the popular Swale market in Bayelsa state capital Yenagoa has increased. Our residents in Yenagoa metropolis blame the traders for the increase in the prices of goats and other commodities. Trust TV's Friday, Ebimoboe Peter visited some spots in the city where goats are sold to ascertain their prices this festive season. Here's his report.
Resident Bobby Ugo and Tona Timimbi, who bought a goat and rice at exorbitant rates, call on federal government to set up a task force to control the market prices.
One thing about Nigeria is they don't obey the laws of gravity. What goes up will surely come down. So prices are high. The woman that goes to farm in Bayelsa here, for food that used to satisfy me, today now, the fufu cannot satisfy me. Will you blame tinubu? Will you blame the Oyedere? Will you blame the government for that? No. The garri that our people see it as a normal thing. The prices are high. Everybody will just tag it as things are high now. So let me high my food stock also. Government should try and come into this price control. There should be tax force. When the government pronounce that, tax force will follow up to ensure that the prices are, people carry out the orders of the government.
When I went to buy goods, the goods sellers told me that it's because of the cost of fuel and the cost of transportation and other things, and the high rate in dollar. That's the reason why the goat is so expensive. So I have no option because we are in the festive season and I need goods. So I have no option than to buy. So I'm using this medium to call on the federal government to look into the price of goat and other commodities.
A goat seller, simply identified as Zico, said they are not responsible for the increase in the prices of goat. He attributed the increase to the hike in fuel price and the increase in dollar price.
The one who said 50, don't go 60. The one who goes 60, don't go 70. Because the change of money, when dollar is don't high. Fast, it don't high. Now, what would they go in Niger? Would they go buy good for Niger? So, what would they go in Niger now? The price don't high because the data money don't high pass for all. So, what we go in Nigeria, the thing don't come a place for us. And the transport, before from now, we go north, 10,000, 8,000. But now, what we go north, 30,000 you carry go north. Only you. I want to make your federal government make it look this matter, make it list something for fuel side, then the dollar make it try to talk to these people there, make it reduce the dollar price. If we do like that, by God grace, we save Nigeria money, we go ice more.
This festive season, some goods are sold for as high as 75,000 naira and more. From Yenagoa, I'm Friday, Ebimoboe Peter. Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
And the high cost of interstate transport is compelling some Nigerians to suspend planned trips this Yuletide. This comes as transport workers in Abuja say there is low turnout of passengers characterized by the hike in price of petrol and general cost of living in the country. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Usually, Nigerians travel across the country for Christmas and New Year holidays at the end of the year. but the 2023 Yuletide comes with severe economic turbulence, with high cost of transportation disrupting travel plans.
The cost of transportation has literally gone high because as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. Like now, I'm paying 5,000 naira from here to Makurdi. It used to be lesser. And when you are coming from Makurdi to Abuja, it used to be 3,000 naira, which will cost you, but now it's 7,000 naira from Makurdi to Abuja. There are places sometimes I need to be there personally, but these I have to maybe send someone, have to call someone to assist me do the things I want to do, or if I need to send something, maybe something I should have taken personally, I have to wait because it is less, it will cost me less to send it through Waybill or to call someone.
But eventually I would have not traveled because of the transport. It's until when I have to wait, because all my budget was that the transport was too high for me. I have to wait. If not, I would have traveled since, or because of the travel, I have to look for another money again, putting it to end this day today. You understand? So,
although transport workers here have increased fares to balance the cost of petrol, the business is less lucrative as it used to be, as they pay more to fuel their vehicles. At the same time, the passenger turnout is not encouraging, as commuters are compelled to shelve trips due to the current financial realities.
Due to before, the price of before and this year price of fuel is different. So I can still say it that we don't know whether it is because of the distance we still have between now and the Christmas, we don't know. If not, the passengers have never started rushing the way we expected. But meanwhile, we still thank God with the one we are having. Since the little one we are having, we are receiving blessing into it.
Nigerians have been paying more to cover transport expenses. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) said transport fare for intercity travels rose by 44.61% in September 2022. But with the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government, Nigerians may pay more this Yuletide season to cover transport expenses. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now to security. The Nigerian Air Force on Sunday said an airstrike undertaken by its air component of Operation World Punch on Wednesday neutralized scores of terrorists, including the dreaded terrorist and kidnap kingpin Yellow Jambros in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. In a statement signed by its Director of Public Relations and Information, Edward Gapquet, NAF said the terrorists met their end while attempting to cross Jikudna River in Galadima Kogo district, heading towards Urukuvi axis of Chikun local government area. According to the NAF, prior to the strike, Yellow Jambros and his cohorts were trailed from Zamfara State into Niger State, riding 13 motorcycles along the Kaduna-Niger State border, precisely heading towards Kusasu in Shiroro local government of Niger. The statement maintained that at Kusasu, 5 other motorcycle-riding terrorists joined Yellow Jambros convoy, bringing the total number of motorcycles to 18, which then headed to the bank of River Jikudna. It noted that at the riverbank, the terrorists and their 18 motorcycles boarded a large motor-powered canoe in an attempt to cross and link up with other terrorists across the river, adding that it was at this point that the authorization to undertake a strike was given. According to the statement, Yellow Jambros and his cohort have been responsible for several kidnappings and killings along the Abuja-Kaduna road and in several communities in Kaduna, Niger, Katsina, and Zamfara states, respectively. Also, the Enugu State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of a young man who allegedly killed his mother, Charity Oji, and his sister, Ukamaka Oji, and buried them in a shallow grave in their backyard in the state. The suspect, identified as Somadina Oji from Igboariam in Anambra State, was said to have committed the offense on Monday, December 4th, 2023 at Umuaguinyi in the Oji River local government area of Enugu State. According to the report and videos from the incident, the late Charity, a native of Inyi but married in Igboariam, Anambra State, had been living in her family house with her children for some years. Unfortunately, her son, who allegedly deals in hard drugs and has been having issues with her for some time, killed her. A community leader in Inyi, Ben Obi, who spoke to some journalists, stated that the problem started weeks ago when the suspect had an issue with the younger brother. He added that the suspect had wanted to hit the younger brother before the mother stopped him and reported the incident to the Kingsmen, asking them to come and chase him away from the house because he wanted to kill the younger brother. And also, the police command in Kaduna State said its operatives have rescued a kidnapped victim and a housewife in the early hours of Sunday. The command's public relations officer, Mansour Hassan, who confirmed the release on Sunday in Kaduna, said operatives received a call that a group of armed men, not yet ascertained, invaded a residence in Dogarawa area of Sabon Gari in Zaria local government and kidnapped a wife aged 37 at the residence. According to Hassan, due to the firepower superiority of the police who went after the kidnappers, they abandoned the kidnapped victim, which led to her rescue. He said the kidnapped victim had been reunited with her family unhurt. Hassan said investigation was ongoing while efforts were also intensified to arrest the fleeing suspects to face the full wrath of the law. And also, the federal government on Saturday secured the release of 15 inmates from the Malumfashi Satellite Custodial Center in Katsina. The Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Haliru Nababa, disclosed during the event that the release was facilitated by the Minister of Interior, Olubumi Tunji Ojo. Nababa, represented by the Controller of Corrections, Katsina Command, Abdulmumin Haruna, said the inmates were those with minor offenses. He also urged the inmates who did not benefit from the gesture not to see their incarceration as the end of their lives. And after an imprisonment of about 2 years for alleged blasphemy in Bauchi State, Rhoda Jato, a Bauchi woman who condemned the alleged killing of Samuel Deborah in Sokoto State, has finally regained her freedom. She was released on bail on Friday and has reunited with her family following an intervention from civil society organizations. Family members and religious bodies Her bail has been confirmed by her husband, who has refused to speak on the issue and has denied access to her by journalists for now. It was gathered that her bail application brought by her lawyer, Joseph Damboi, was heard and granted by Justice Fatima Jibrin of a high court in Bauchi. According to sources, as soon as she was released, Rhoda left Bauchi for Gombe State. Just before her release, the executive director of the Center for Information Technology and Development, Bauchi, stated in a statement that Jato was picked up on the 20th of May 2022 at her residence by the Nigerian police force on the allegation of alleged incitement and inciting public disturbance. According to Sitat, she was denied bail on several occasions. You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up, Trust TV investigation exposes illegal kidney trade around the FCT. More news after this break. Stay with us.
It's time to jackpot for more fun. This season, there are loads of exciting content. Enjoy all the drama, intrigue, suspense, and romance in a wide range of telenovela series, Nollywood movies, Bollywood, kiddies program, and introducing our new kiddies channel, Boeing. After 5 years of waiting, the Nigeria Premier Football League is finally back, live and exclusively on Star Times.
Enjoy more this season with our jackpot promo. Recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet and get 14 days free, or recharge 2 months and get upgraded to a higher bouquet. Wow! Recharge now and jackpot for more fun and stand a chance to win Sundial TV and other fantastic gifts. Offer runs till January 20, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times. Entertain your family.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
So this about this thing.
Yeah, but this time around we are talking about appointment of ministers, where there is an express provision in the constitution as regards that.
Let's come to appointments. You know, it is the status of FCT that the constitution has made is too complicated for people to understand.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view. Because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
Welcome back. You're watching the news hour on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our major stories. Nigerians face up to realities of interstate travel as they suspend Christmas trips. Also, despite Kaduna accidental bombing, Nigerian Air Force neutralizes terrorist kingpin, others in airstrike in Niger. Moving on to more stories now. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Kaduna Sector Command says no fewer than 16 persons died and 27 sustained injuries in a road crash on the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. The sector commander, Kabir Nadabo, said that the fatal road traffic crash occurred at Audu Jangon village along the expressway on Sunday. He explained that the crash occurred when a DAF trailer with registration number KUJ 430XC with overloaded goods lost control and fell into a ditch. He said initial reports indicate the driver was at high speed, probably due to fatigue. Nadabo said on receiving news of the crash, he visited the scene to have first-hand information as well as directed rescue team on the evacuation of the deceased to the morgue. Also, a yet-to-be-identified person has died and another severely injured after a truck lost control at the Alagbon Olorunda Bridge along Owode Idiroko Road in Ogun State. The Southwest Area Commander of the Ogun Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Adekunle Ajibade, who disclosed this on Saturday, in a statement added that the incident was due to speeding. Ajibade explained that the accident, which happened on Friday around 4:15 p.m., involved a Mercedes-Benz truck with no registration number and a Bajaj motorcycle with registration number DGB 504VK. He added that of the 4 persons that were involved in the accident, 1 person was confirmed dead and another injured, while 2 others came out unhurt. The commander further stated that the Mercedes-Benz truck lost control due to speeding and rammed into a commercial motorcyclist before plunging into the river. Ajibade cautioned motorists and motorcycle riders against reckless driving and excessive speeding to reduce or eliminate accidents during this Yuletide season. Moving on, the survivor of the tragic Sosoliso plane crash 18 years ago and America Got Talent star Kechi Okuchi has paid tribute to the 60 schoolmates lost in the devastating incident. In an X post on Sunday, Kechi asked the 60 angels to keep watching over her and one other who survived as she made more memories for them. Kechi wrote, "Dear 60 angels, 18 years have passed since the Sosoliso plane crash that took your lives among other dear souls while sparing mine and one other. Another year, another new set of milestones, all for you. Please keep watching over me as I make even more memories for you." The America's Got Talent star was a student of Loyola Jesuit College and was aboard the plane when it crashed in Port Harcourt International Airport on December 10, 2005, killing 106 people, including 60 schoolmates. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted sunshine and haziness from Sunday to Tuesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Sunday in Abuja predicted sunny skies in a hazy atmosphere over the northern region during the forecast period. According to it, sunny skies in a hazy atmosphere are also expected over the north-central region during the forecast period. It anticipated cloudy skies with spells of sunshine over the inland states of the south. NIMET predicted cloudy skies over the coastal cities with prospects of thunderstorms over parts of Edo, Ondo, Imo, Ebonyi, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states during the afternoon and evening hours. The agency envisaged dust haze over the northern region on Monday during the forecast period. The agency advised the airline operators to get updated weather reports from its office for effective planning in their operation. And now, a Trust TV investigation has exposed the illegal trade in kidneys around satellite towns near the FCT. The investigation by Trust TV's Lami Sadiq reveals how kidney brokers target young men from low economic backgrounds to sell their kidneys for 1 million naira. Here's the report.
Mararaba, a bustling satellite town that stretches into Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, is packed with thousands of residents, many from low economic background. The community faces an explosion of youth unemployment. As families struggle to make ends meet, the mostly idle youths also find ways to break the shackles of poverty. The youths plot their way into a dangerous trade of kidney sale.
I've been there for Abed Niger. So Abib come and tell me say that, okay, let's talk. Abib, we go out and talk. He told me that there is one business for town inside Abuja. They do kidney harvesting. So I want to tell him, say, they will carry my kidney, go outside country, I be how. Say no, and me and the person will get kidney problem. We do tests. If we do okay, then they will give me 1.1. I told him that the money is too small. Out of 2 million, God say no. Say they will give me 1.1. We talk. One time say okay, they will give me 1.2.
16-year-old Yahya Musa and Adebayo Oluwatobi were also lured by local agents to sell their kidneys.
There is one day that one of my friends called me and told me that there is one hospital that they used to sell kidney there, that him too sell his own that they are going to give us 1 million for the kidney selling. So after we went for the checkup for 1 week, they now call me for the next day and tell me that I should come on Wednesday, that they are going to do the operation on Friday. So after I left home and go to there, they now do some checkup for me, and on Friday we now enter the operation room around 9 o'clock. They now did the operation for me. So after they do it finish, they now give me 1 million.
Kidneys are the world's most sought-after organ. An estimated 1 million people die each year from untreated kidney disease. In Nigeria, experts estimate over 20 million people battle kidney disease. In the course of this investigation, we found the name of a popular kidney broker, Mayo, almost on every donor's lips.
Anytime they need some boys to work for their kidney or to remove it and sell it, it's like agents that they used to call him so that he will bring some boys. They will do some checkup at home. If your blood is O group, or they used to, like, anytime they need for A or B or O plus, so the guy used to call Abdul and told him that they need O plus, this thing, kidney. Then he will now give us the number of Mayo. Then if we go to the hospital, then Mayo will do the remaining things for us.
Selling organ is illegal, is unethical. The repercussions are many. One, on the donor himself. Most of these commercial donors, they are not well prepared for the donation. Okay. They are not properly investigated. The aim of the people are just to get the organ, not the health and well-being of the donor himself. And more so, after donation, the donor is supposed to be followed up over time, because he himself may be at risk of getting kidney disease in the future.
Organ transplantation in Nigeria is guided by the National Health Act 2014, which criminalizes the removal of organs from anyone under the age of 18. The Act domiciles the powers of prescribing criteria for the approval of organ transplant facilities to the National Tertiary Health Institution Standard Committee. The Ministry of Health, which supervises the committee, has failed to respond to a Freedom of Information request on this. To get more information on this kidney trade, Trust TV went undercover and was linked to a kidney agent called Chiboy. We requested for an O-positive blood group, and Chiboy asked for transport fare to make the supply the next day. At 12:30 p.m. on a Tuesday in October, Chiboy and a 38-year-old donor met us at an undisclosed location in Abuja.
For now, the person is in Kano, but they're trying to bring the person here. So I'm trying to see whether Zenith go do or which hospital.
Alliance go first.
Which one first?
Alliance.
Why do you say so?
Nigeria they all from. They are another 1 week stuff. Then after.
But why you leave Alliance?
May or no they work again now.
We insisted on paying 1 million naira, but the donor continued to press for 1.5 million for his kidney.
If I should give out this, many things I eat, I deny myself of it. Many things I do, I deny myself of it.
But Chiboy insists his commission is 10% for every donor he supplies.
May on 250 they pay me.
May they pay you?
250.
Few weeks after meeting Chiboy, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, arrested Mayo based on the information and links provided by Trust TV. But for the young men who have taken this dangerous path, there is now pain and regrets.
My mother plan is she wants me to join Soja Army, and now I can't. So I'm not happy.
Na ce inda a ce na ga doktor nan da ya wannan aiki
When I found out what happened to my son, I made it clear that if I meet the doctor responsible for the kidney harvest, it will be a matter of his life or mine. As of today, no one has introduced me to the doctor. It is not right to harvest anyone's kidney without hearing from his family, even if he presents himself for such a surgery. What if they had died during the procedure?
Since my son's kidney has now been harvested, his health may fail in the future. There are many things he may not be able to do in the future, and I may have to assist him. What we want now is justice over what happened to him.
It's only God who have power to say something. But I look, but people they tell me that nothing God cannot do. He can succeed this. And I don't want me to bury my son. I want them to bury me. But as this thing happen, they looking like just like ordinary picture.
For the youths, we advise them to be careful and stop going after money blindly. Anyone who is desperate about quick riches will face destruction. Today, if any of these boys begin to have complications and there are no drugs to treat them, then they may not survive. The youths need to be patient about fighting poverty.
Quite an unfortunate situation there. Moving on, the federal government says the investigative report by Daily Trust on the illegal kidney sales in suburbs around the nation's capital reveals a depth of depravity and criminality prevalent in sections of the society. The Minister of Health, Mohammed Ali Pate, who stated this in a post on his X, formerly Twitter, handle, said the government acknowledged and feel the pain experienced by those affected by such ignoble acts of criminality. Pate reminded all that there is a sound policy and legal framework that enables regulation of health practice in Nigeria, including medically necessary transplantation. The NHA 2014 sections 51 to 56 clearly prohibits the illegality uncovered by the journalists. The central issues are on the enforcement, practices and evasion of such legal and regulatory guidelines by unpatriotic criminal elements. This is similar in some ways to many other acts of criminality in the society. The minister, who appreciated the unbiased and non-sensational reportage from Daily Trust, assured that he is committed to improving effectiveness and efficiency in the health sector in line with the mandate of the president. Also, the palace of the Oni of Ife in Osun State is notable as the center of Yoruba history and culture. The palace serves as the residence of the traditional ruler of Ife, with uncommon daily routines in line with Yoruba tradition. Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade, who was in Ife, observed a typical morning in the palace of the Oni of Ife. Here's his report.
The palace of the Oni of Ife contains mythical objects and spots of historical significance, including shrines and deities. Various cultural events and activities take place at the palace daily in line with the Yoruba tradition and culture. The day often starts with drummers, poets, praise singers and trumpeters performing in front of the Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi's residence to wake him up. When Oni comes out, various people, including the traditional chiefs and religious leaders, pay homage to him, and in return, he prays for them. Our duty is to wake Oni up with drums every morning. The drumming signifies to him that it's dawn of another good day. A traditional chief explains that these routines are carried out to preserve Yoruba culture so as to prevent it from going into extinction.
Ile-Ife.
In Ile-Ife, we worship various deities every day throughout the year, except only one day that is free. Only God and Ooni of Ife knows that free day. When we celebrate one festival today, we celebrate another one the following day. In the last 8 years on the throne, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi has sustained these daily routines, making the palace lively and entertaining. Amid Ojegbade reporting for Trust TV from Ile-Ife.
You're watching the news hour on Trust TV. We'll be back right after this break.
We started manufacturing leather since 1958. But the most important thing is that if the system is checked correctly, we won't have where we are now.
If somebody has depression, they may just be very irritable and unproductive in the office. So you find on average already about 1 in 4, 1 in 5 Nigerians already have mental illness, a mental health condition that needs some form of attention.
No matter how good an economy is, if the federal government goes bust, believe me, everything in the economy is just a matter of time it will go bust. So first of all, about maybe slightly above, below 70% is in federal government securities.
If government has banned importation of fertilizer and states are doing it at the level of governance, but I believe that production and distribution of fertilizer should be left to the private sector.
This is the general multi-purpose card and it has a chip here. So this chip is about 80 kilobytes. The one that you get from the bank for ATM is just 4 kilobytes. So this is like 20 times.
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still watching the news hour on Trust TV. Moving on now, amidst complaints by some Nigerians about scarcity of Naira notes, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says there is adequate supply of the currency. The CBN gave the assurance against the backdrop of complaints by some bank customers on scarcity of Naira notes at the counters, automated teller machines, ATMs. POS and Bureau de Change (BDCs). Some officials of deposit money banks also claimed that the DMBs were not getting adequate supply of cash from the CBN. But according to a statement issued by the Corporate Communications Department of the CBN, there is no shortage of Naira notes, as there is adequate supply of the currency in the economy. The Apex Bank said the seeming currency scarcity was occasioned by large volume withdrawals of cash from various CBN branches by DMBs. It said that panic withdrawals by bank customers was also partly responsible for the seeming scarcity. The CBN advised members of the public to guard against panic withdrawals, as there was sufficient stock to facilitate economic activities. Also, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, to promptly publish details of the barrels of oil Nigeria produces and exports every day, and the total amount of revenues generated from oil since the removal of subsidy on petrol in May 2023. SERAP urged him to disclose how much of the revenues generated from oil have been remitted to the public treasury since the removal of the subsidy on petrol. SERAP also wants the NNPCL boss to disclose details of payments of 11 trillion naira subsidy and to clarify allegations that the NNPCL has failed to remit revenues generated from oil to the public treasury since the removal of the petrol subsidy. Former Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, had last week alleged that the NNPCL is failing to remit enough foreign exchange into the treasury despite the removal of the subsidy, asking, where is the money? In the letter dated 9th December 2023 and signed by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadari, the organization said there is a legitimate public interest in disclosing the information sought. And on foreign news now, former Sierra Leone President Ernest Bai Koroma has been confined to his home, the government said on Saturday, after he was questioned over what it calls an attempted coup at the end of November. The office of the former president, who led the West African nation from 2007 to 2018, has said he was not placed under house arrest. Information Minister Cherno Bash said Koroma, who was first brought in for questioning by police on Friday, was questioned again on Saturday before being released with the condition that he stays in the confines of his property. He can't step out of the house without the express permission of the Inspector General of Police, Ba said on X, formerly Twitter. Koroma has been allowed visits by just 3 family members and 3 party members, Ba added, terms which will be in place until he meets with the police inspector again on Monday. In a statement by Koroma's office, one of his lawyers denied that he was under house arrest, but said the security beef up around his residence and the extra caution on traffic into his home are state security determination. And in sports, Devin Haney claimed a unanimous points victory over Regis Progaris to secure the WBC light welterweight title in San Francisco. American Haney dominated his compatriot and knocked him down in the 3rd round, with all 3 judges scoring the bout 120 to 107 in Haney's favor. It was Haney's first fight at 140 pounds, having previously been the undisputed lightweight champion. Haney vacated his 135-pound WBC, WBA, IBF and WBO belt in November to move up a weight class. He now holds a 31-0 record, including 15 knockouts, while the loss was Prograis' first since October 2019. And also, Anthony Davis scored 41 points to help the Los Angeles Lakers to victory against the Indiana Pacers in the NBA's first in-season tournament final. Davis also registered 20 rebounds, 5 assists and 4 blocks, while teammate LeBron James added 24 points and 11 rebounds in a 123-109 win. James was also named the most valuable player of the inaugural NBA Cup. The Pacers closed to within 3 points with just over 6 minutes remaining, only for the Lakers to produce a run of 13 unanswered points on the way to victory. Austin Reeves scored 28 points off the bench for the Lakers, while Tyrese Halliburton and teammate Benedict Mathurin topped scored for the Pacers with 20 points each. The final of the NBA Cup took place in Las Vegas and is the only game of the tournament which does not count towards the regular season standings. And before we go, here's a kicker. Faced with having to move somewhere with better rainfall, smallholder farmers like Elizabeth Mpofu in southern Zimbabwe turned to a new farming technique. Today, they're smiling. Take a look.
Since I came here, I have never gone hungry. My family have never gone to seek for food, but we are managing to produce enough food to feed my families, and also the healthy of the people whom I am also staying with. It's also improving because we are consuming what we are producing agroecologically, which is healthy, not necessarily something which is brought to you and you go and buy without knowing who produced it, how it was produced. We don't rely on hybrid seeds. With agroecology farming systems, you have to have your own seeds which you produce, which you also multiply, which you also share with other farmers. So it is also a way of bringing farmers together to share their experiences, to share their expertise, because with agroecology, each and every farmer has his or her own experience or her knowledge. So agroecology is also about knowledge sharing of how to produce food, with how to manage our soils, how to look at the environment, taking care of Mother Earth.
Without wasting much of our time, we are coming to the tail end of the program.
We talk about agroecology implementation, especially in rural areas. We are looking at Zimbabwe being a country that is thriving on smallholder farmers. 70 to 80% of our farmers are smallholder farmers, and they are resource poor. They don't have enough resources to support their production. So when we are looking at agroecology, now we are looking at how best these farmers can actually utilize the locally available resources to support production, and at the same time reducing their carbon footprint. So we are looking at how best they can substitute or eliminate the use of chemicals and synthetic material that are promoted and that are provided by corporates and companies. One of the key benefits of agroecology in Zimbabwe is mainly to do with self-resilience and sustenance. We are empowering, it's a program that empowers rural communities to make life from their resources and live without reliance on either support from donors or the government. So it's an empowering program that gives people ability to survive using their own resources.
dzinogona kuti dzikaitwa chokudya chinovaka muviri nokuti hove dzinovaka muviri dzine protein.
And with that, we've come to the end of the news hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all of our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentaries. I'm Sakir Ibrahim. Good night.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.